looks good under that light. You put it in natural daylight outside, it look absolutely spangling. Yeah, because this picks up every flaw. Every little orange peel, every little imperfection, every little dent. But outside they always look so much nicer.
Here we are, just a quick introduction for a few of the cars we got here, a few of the projects. Mercedes 190 SL, we've been looking after this car for a number of years. It's come into us for a routine service and it had a fuel starvation issue which would only happen uphill. We have found a few other little issues and we chased it around a little bit, but eventually it turned out to be a reserve tank valve that was failing and causing restriction in fuel. So this car is going back to its owner in Gloucestershire. Very pretty car this, very desirable, I love it. I really love the red interior or burgundy interior with black paintwork and bright and the chrome. E-types are fabulous. Is that word again? E-types are great. I think these are really pretty. I really like this. We've done a few of these over the years, and Mercedes, this particular engine, 4-cylinder, isn't particularly a performance model, but they're just great, and they get lots of looks when you feel like a film star. So if you want to feel like a film star, drive one of these. Behind me, this here, Triumph Spitfire, come to us. There's a bit of a ride height issue which we're just trying to sort out for him, so we may need to raise the front end. The wheels are actually rubbing on the wheel arches under load. You can roll the wheel arches very gently, but the owner's decided to put a slightly higher spring on it. Someone's put lowered springs. Now, just as a point of technical merit, ideally for handling, you want the front, so your sill height to the floor, ideally you want it gently sloping forwards. This is probably too much. It's probably about 3 inches, but about an inch slope, something like that, is normally about right as a general rule of thumb. It's something I've always sort of used, and with this we can see that it's been lowered on the front end. I don't think it's been lowered on the rear end. It's got too much of a slant. It drives okay, it hasn't affected the handling too much, but it is causing trouble, and anti-roll bar has been hitting speed bumps. This is a lovely little thing. I love Spitfires. If people enjoy doing a bit of maintenance at home, they're very simple cars to work on, and most parts are available, so they're a joy for the home mechanic. Triumphs, MGBs, I love those cars, very simplistic, good engineering. So if you like getting your hands dirty and getting stuck in and doing an oil change on a Sunday morning with your children, one of those cars is definitely worth looking at. So moving on from these two, let's go into the workshops and see what we've got in there project-wise.
So imagine she got that level, which should then be leathered. Then he wants to sink the speakers in. So imagine how much that sticks above. Then you've got the flat, then the speakers stick above.
We've got depth to recess the
We have,
speakers,
we've rested a bit, but he wants them almost flush with the back parcel shelf.
This is the EV Vantage. As a one-off project, it's the biggest, most expansive project we've ever done. I mean, Mark's had to work miracles on the heating system and replace that from vacuum to electric solenoids, and then work out ratios and power and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Totally bespoke. So everything is individual to the car, but we still got to maintain the original look. So it still needs to look like what it is, but with a modern.
Yeah, sort of.
It's like a.
Yeah, I suppose now, isn't it, like rebuilding all of the dashes? So is it the same?
It's the same dash, same dash, same instruments, but now it hasn't got. There's no water temperature, there's no oil pressure, or half the dials don't work.
Yeah,
They're not needed.
Yeah. So are you going to do something else with them, or keep them so they're traditional looking?
Keep them to the traditional looking,
Yeah.
and then the ones he needs is the one obviously which we work in, but it must look very similar to the original. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
Right from minute one, when we first put the Tesla lump in the back, it's just been it's not been hard, it's been enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's been enjoyable, but we're hitting little things which we need to tweak, things which not meant for the car but will massively enhance it. And this is like we need to keep that quality high, so whatever we do as a bespoke retrofit, it's got to be of a high standard. And that's challenging but exciting at the same time. To be fair, Paul's got a vision, and we've got to keep that vision alive, so whatever he wants to happen happens. And he's got a good eye. He has got a good eye.
And this project is the brainchild of Paul Sargent here, who approached us around COVID with an idea to create this absolutely unique motor car. It's taken many years, a lot of blood, sweat and tears, and Paul has a real attention to detail and style and how we want things. And I believe, Paul, the remit originally was how would the factory do this, and that it's gone on from there. And it was it you, Les? So the idea was to have an a classic EV vehicle?
So yeah, there's 2 points there. Definitely the idea of everything we've tried to do, and I would say I only had the initial idea and you guys have come up with all the other solutions, but jointly I think we agreed that this was all about how would Aston Martin do it if they would do it themselves? How would it be done if it was a factory produced car?
Yeah.
So that's been the underlying design approach as we've moved on and we've developed it. But the original idea comes out of COVID. It's one of those COVID stories, as you remember at the time, where I was sat watching too much television. I was watching lots of American resto mod programs, which I got very much into, and found it incredible how the Americans change and modify their classic cars substantially. I was watching another series at the time that was all about converting classics to electric from our friends at ECC based up in Wales.
Yeah.
And at the first opportunity when the lockdowns were finished, I started looking for an Aston, which is when we came across each other. There was an Aston in mind. I'd also looked at some Jensens, but found this Aston. And I think when we sat down together, we agreed that the combination of converting it, restoring it, doing some light resto mod stylings, and making it electric appealed to you as much as it did to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the journey's been great, hasn't it? I mean, it's been a journey of exploration. There's things that we didn't know how we were going to treat and deal with them until we got faced with them.
Yeah, yeah. It's when you start modifying a car, everything or any particular thing leads to another. So when you change one thing, it can knock-on effect can be to the power of 12, really. With the electrification, that's gone fairly smoothly with our help with our friends at ECC. But it's all the detail, switch gear, interior trim. I'm really looking forward to seeing the finished result. You've been a real guiding light because I think your career is around design and style.
I wouldn't say developing property and commercial property is the same as designing cars, but there is design involved in both. I think we've learnt from each other's industries that there's quite a lot of similarities in approach to different phases of work and the order of the different work you do and how you visualize it and then how you execute it. So I think that's been really interesting for me, is to see how you guys interpret it. And again, we've changed ideas because the interior originally was going to be much more classic.
Yes, it was, yeah. Yeah.
And now we've got these Recaro seats.
Yeah.
So at one stage we had a conversation and some seats came up on the internet and you went, oh, those are quite nice. And I went, no, that's not what we're doing though, is it? And you went, well, just have a look. And then I had a look and thought, they are quite nice. And then I researched some more and then I went and visited the guys who were selling them and looked at them, sat in them and thought, this could be quite special. And then I referenced back to my American resto mod programs where a lot of them have put the Recaro seats in, and that changed the whole interior.
It changed the whole interior.
Colour.
Yeah.
It's changed
everything.
The approach to it being a more contemporary finish on the inside, whereas outside I think we're trying to be as classic as we can be.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We haven't gone for a flared arches in a complete restyle of the car. So we try to keep the car externally classic with a few minor detailing changes front and rear. And you've been brilliant. The amount of effort and input and WhatsApp groups and messages, and what's really important to me is we build something that you're happy with. So when that's on the road, it's like, would I do anything different? No, that's pretty much what I would, what I want today.
But I'm a great believer you only get out of a project what you put into it. So again, if I haven't spent that time, then more fool me. There'll be things that maybe I don't like so much, or there'll be things we have to change and chop and change. And I'm not sort of blowing my own trumpet, but there's been days and weeks spent on the internet looking at things like wing mirrors, just wing mirrors or control buttons.
Yeah, wing mirrors. Yeah.
The weirdest things, as I say, but it's part of my job in the property development sort of side of things as well, is choosing and approving the specifications. I think the original colour was light blue, sky blue, and the original interior was orange.
Orange. Well, sky blue and orange interior, and
so we used to say
a long way.
I remember saying always it was more Austin Powers than James Bond, but ultimately we've ended up with the James Bond colour from Living Daylights. So that's the Cumberland Grey.
Yeah.
We've ended up with a predominantly black interior, which was the traditional interior with the Cumberland Grey, but the treatments that we're looking at doing in the roof lining and with the carpeting, I think it's going to really set it apart. I mean, a purist would never be happy with this car anyway. And I'm not a purist, and it wasn't bought to satisfy other people. This is, a very selfish project. The conversion is the first thing, considering the car was called a V8. The first thing we did was rip out the motor.
Yeah.
So we don't have to follow any particular rules. But back to that point, as long as we feel it's something that Aston Martin would do, if they were designing this car today, that's the baseline we have to go back to.
So here we have 1937 Lagonda LG45, I think Roy said. So
it's in this box.
And it is in lots of boxes. So the client bought the car in the late 70s, and he's been diligently restoring it ever since, really. He drove it home and then took it apart. Lagonda's fantastic brand, I believe started by an American. Pre-war cars come with all sorts of headaches, mainly to do with availability of parts, and that we have to overcome. Rare car, valuable, very intricate, and in its build and construction there's a lot for us to consider putting it together. It's come to us in bits, but most of the bits are refurbished. He's done a beautiful job making a new bulkhead here, and this particular car has hydraulic or self-oiling suspension, cable and rod brake system, and hydraulic jacks. I think automatic hydraulic jacks. It's all quite advanced stuff. Lagonda's a really interesting company to read about. They didn't make very many cars, and then it was acquisition after acquisition. But this would be fabulous. Is that word again? Yeah. This will be a really nice car when it's finished. You find there's a technology jump in automotive pre-war and post-war. And the other problem with pre-war cars, and we come across a problem a lot, is that the castings for the engines are so old that when you come to repair them, they crack. They're physically beyond useful life, and we've done various weld repairs to try and keep them on the road, but it's a real problem. Post-war engines are a lot easier. Post-war cars are a lot easier to keep on the road, lot easier to repair, and parts are available. Pre-war, you've got to be dedicated to the cause if you own a pre-war car. Thankfully, lots of people are.
Where's the engine at the moment? Is the engine?
Engine is there. It's a Meadows engine. This one's being rebuilt by people in Devon probably about 10 or 20 years ago. It was up and running, but it's been stood on this crate for about 20 years, I think. It's quite important if you've got an engine that's being built and isn't running, any engine, is to try and rotate them so many revolutions every so often. to release compression on valve springs and to move so that the piston rings don't get stuck to bores. So just as a little footnote there, if you've got an engine iron Lidl, don't leave it forever and a day without just rotating it and checking bores and that.
Is that something you can do manually? Or is
Yeah,
that,
yeah, put a spanner on the end of the crank, take the plugs out, rotate it. So it does not do an engine good to be with no rotation for a great length of time. You actually get moisture going through the valves and into the cylinders, and on damp days you'll get damp or moisture into the cylinder boards, and it can cause corrosion. Also, another rare car here is a Bristol 407. It's come to us with a brake issue. There's also some bodywork repairs that we've had to do. Front and rear bumpers are being re-chromed by our friends at S&T in Yate in Bristol. And the braking system, we use a company called Past Parts that refurbish certain components and brake systems that you can no longer buy replacement parts for, so they go away and get specially refurbished. So we're just in the process of bleeding the brakes, bumpers are back on, road testing, and all being well, this should be able to go home next week.
It's a great time to film, isn't it? Yeah. It's going to plan.
So guys, would you like to explain to Tom what you're doing and what's been our problems on this one?
So the customer caught the engine on fire, basically, is the easiest way to...
No, you can't say that. So Triple CR would like to rephrase that there was a thermal incident and we're just checking it over.
If we had this tool, it would make our life a lot easier. And obviously we had an engine fire and the top half of this cam belt was burnt out.
We thought they were metal, but they're resin.
We've used a Tipex timing pen, so we sort of marked.
Yeah, where's the marks?
We marked the positions before we took the cam belt off, and then we're putting the new cam belt on now, and then we will be sort of measuring top dead centre, getting the dial gauge on the valves just to make sure they're opening correctly, and yeah, nothing's easy. Yeah, same with that Bristol there. We just put the brake servo in, and the servo control valve decided to stick. So we put new servo in, nothing. So we had to take the control valve back out, fix that, put that back together. The hydraulic brake booster's leaking on the BMW. Yeah, it's not even lunchtime yet.
Can't walk past a Mark I yellow Mexico and not mention it. I mean, that'd be sacrilege. This car's really, really well looked after. We've done a few little jobs mechanical. I think we're replacing tyres. We've adjusted ignition timing, bits and pieces, carbs and that, and set it up. Backbone of Britain, these. Great, absolutely love it. I drove one of these that had been prepared for the Peking Mexico Rally. So like a 5-link back axle, I think it was a BDA, properly real powerful engine. Got a lovely DB6 in here. We're doing some work for it. It's come over from Malaysia. It's got an amazing air conditioning system that I've not seen before. It's just going through the paint shop. Come and have a look. Barry's just prepping the outer body. We're blending down both sides. We're not going to go to the lengths of a respray because it doesn't need it. It presents very, very nicely. We're going to give it a very good clean, get all the wheels sorted, get interior sorted, and just get it in nice everyday road car condition. It's not a concours car, but it'd be very nice once we're finished and ready for the road and fully trialled and tested. And beside the DB6, we have a Rolls-Royce that Nick's working on. Other cars currently in the paint shop, we've got a Jensen FF Interceptor in the far corner. That's going through a paint shop. That will be resprayed in the next few months. And this Rolls-Royce, what is it? S3. I know everything about every classic car ever made ever. I have to. S3, late 60s, huge, lovely, and we're just giving this a quick respray. There isn't really such a thing as a quick respray, but it's come to us and we're refinishing it and give it a coat of paint. We're only doing the body on this one. It's come through another company. So our paint shop's quite full, but we've really turned quite a lot of work through. thanks to Nick, because Nick is marvellous. Nick's the best painter I've ever met, and I say that with hand on heart. I say it with hand. No, I'm very lucky. I'm lucky all my staff, and I'm very lucky with Nick. No, Nick's good. Nick's good. Barry technically shouldn't even be in this shop.
Well, no,
he's parachuted into the paint shop.
He's going to be able to sniff the air for an hour.
He's come down for a bit of filler dust. Because when Nick first came to work for me, the first week I showed him how to do a paint job, and you've never seen such a... it went, we were to do with smart repairs or something, so I said to Nick, oh, Nick was very good, and he's like, oh, I'll just watch you, John, and see what you want as a boss. And all the paint ran on the floor, literally, across the floor, outside, down the road. And I was like, this has gone a bit wrong. But he stayed, thankfully.